Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special meeting for the agenda for the Quorum Court. Today is Tuesday, November the 21st. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll for me?
Adams.
Here.
Agee. Byrd. Curl.
Here.
Dumas.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Getty.
Here.
Hardin.
Right.
Holcomb.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Patricia Johnson.
Here.
Reginald Johnson.
Here.
Margaret Williams.
Here.
Okay, thank you. It's not on here, but I'm gonna, any comments or any questions from the public before us should have been on here. So do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak?
Mr. Prayer, prayer pledge of allegiance.
Well, we, on the special meetings, we haven't done that before. So this is going by the guidelines that we've taken in the past. And so when we've had meetings other than the regular quorum court meetings, this is the agenda that we've gone by in the past and several special meetings. So
Several special meetings, y'all had it. No prayer, no pledge of allegiance.
as I said, Justice Franklin, this is a special meeting, and we've done this at the regular meeting. So we're going to move on. Is anybody from the public that would like to speak? Identify yourself when you come to the mic. Identify yourself when you come to the mic, please.
My name is Clairon Raspberry. Most of you all probably know me or heard of me. I come to speak to the Quorum Court, not to the entire Quorum Court, 8 people that I want to talk to. Because what you're doing to the veterans is unheard of. And I'm going to start, Miss Carol, don't you leave, because I'm going to talk about you. Your brother is one of the main reasons that I'm here. He lost his life in Vietnam, so you could live the life that you live, but you will not pass whatever needs to be passed to get that money to that veteran center so they can take care of other veterans. You should feel ashamed. But I know you don't. I know you don't care about the veterans. It just wouldn't happen.
I was going to the bathroom, but since you sit down, stay.
I'm glad you want to stay because I want you to know.
Thank you.
And then I feel hostile, because this is a pet peeve of mine. I laid in the hospital 7 days in Vietnam so you can have the life that you got right now. And I'm not the only one. We got another person on this Quorum Court. Her husband is a DAV, one of the most respected people in Pine Bluff. And I know she don't know what's going on. If she did, she wouldn't let this happen. It's a shame that you are not doing your job to help not only veterans, but the county. And I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a lifetime member of the VFW and the DAV. And if something isn't done to fix this problem, you will be hearing from an attorney, each one of you. And I guarantee you, they will send you something that you don't want to see. And Mr. Carroll, I understand that you want your brother's name on the wall, which is good, and I hope it happens. But another thing that you could do, they got a room there. You could have his picture put up there with everything that he's done. Your brother was a hero, and you're fighting against it. Don't say you're not. You can play this any kind of way you want to. But I guess you can tell.
You got one more minute.
Yes,
You got one more minute.
Sir?
You got one more minute.
Okay. Well, I've just about said what I want to say, so I could stay up here all day and talk. But I guarantee you, if something isn't done, you will be hearing from the VFW and the DAV. Thank you, Judge.
Judge,
Can I respond to that?
Do we have anyone else from the public? I'm going to allow the public to speak. Saw that hand.
I want to be contemporaneous with what's being said.
Okay, and as soon as they get through, identify yourself.
My name is Jahad Muhammad. I'm a long-time resident of Jefferson County. I really came up here today. I was here last week. Things didn't go well for me to speak, but I'm here today. There were 2 people that came last week who were vendors, spoke to you all in an effort to get their money. okay? I have a small business, I understand how difficult it can be when you provide a service or a product and you don't get paid. I understand there are multi-vendors who haven't been paid. These two vendors were here because they have a small business, and sometimes if you don't get paid with a small business, it don't take only a couple things for you to go under. So I was here with those two vendors, okay? Meeting didn't go so well, ended up being dismissed. You all had a second meeting, okay? During that second meeting, our sheriff walked in, came up here and gave a long speech. I didn't take issue with anything he said, but one thing. I want you all to think about this. As an elected official, you represent the people. That man stood right here and said that those who came down here begging and pleading to get paid, that they were quote unquote grandstanding. Nobody checked him on it. See, I believe that you represent the people. When somebody get out of line, you got to check those that get out of line. Do you understand what I'm saying? He should have been checked from the door. That's a problem. We just killed some stuff the other day because we had people who are unwilling to speak up for the citizens that they represent. I'm gonna say this in closing. We're gonna get his job. Understand it. We're gonna get his job. We're gonna send him home for disrespecting the people that voted for him. Do you understand? Don't allow him to put you on the other side of the people. Those people would not have been up here speaking if they didn't need their money. So I'm saying, don't allow the friction that goes on here that most of the public don't understand the issues. Most of them don't. Don't allow that to put you on the opposite side of the people who sent you to these seats to represent them. That's all I have to say.
State your name, please.
I'm Nicole Denby, and I'm standing in the gap for the Memphis 911 dispatchers in reference to notices that is in the air for us. Our thing is that we're the voice that's never seen. We're the faces that's never paid attention to. We're the ones that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year. We don't get off for holidays. We don't get off for special occasions. We have to be at work, because if we're not at work, the people that protect you can't have our voice to help you. We're not saying that we feel underprivileged, but we feel as though we're overlooked, as though our voices in our jobs don't matter. We come to work every day to do the best that we can. A lot of times we work shorthanded because we're understaffed. But when we're understaffed, we can't close our doors. When we're understaffed, we cannot disregard our jobs. So all that we ask is that you take it within your heart and think about us. Like things like COVID went on, we had to come sleet, snow, rain, storms, tornadoes, whatever went on, we still have to be there. And nothing was done extra for us for being there, but we still came and did our jobs. And all we want to say is, look within your heart and think of us. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? If not, I think Justice Carroll wanted to respond.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. Mr. Raspberry, I appreciate what you said. I take it to heart. I wish you had known one of them. And I passed out some literature a week ago, and everybody did not get a copy, but the court did along with the judge. And it talked about my brother Leroy. It documented the fact that he was from Pine Bluff, buried in Little Rock at the National Cemetery. It indicates that while in Vietnam, his second tour after re-enlisting, his company was hit by enemy mortar fire. In his company, on that day, 8 persons were injured. He and one other person succumbed to their injuries. The telegram that my mom got from the War Department, it indicated that Manuel Leroy had suffered catastrophic wounds in combat. And as a result, he experienced in the field amputations, where one of his legs was cut off below the knee, the other above the knee. He sustained burns over 8% of his body. He lived long enough to come back to the States, be flown back to the States. Died in Houston, Texas. My mother and one of my older sisters did get a chance to see him. And my brother's memory is special to me, as I'm sure it would be to anyone. Now, my record in terms of me, what I have done and are doing for veterans. While I was principal at Southwood, I was asked to come to a meeting of veterans and chaplains. During that time, I was asked to serve as president of the VIP for veterans. During my tenure as president of VIP, we assisted veterans in getting home loans. Matter of fact, there was a veteran who called me on the weekend who was getting a loan at one of the local banks. And because he did not like how he was treated, they then began to take him through the ringer. And he told me, I had that bank president's phone number, and I called him on a Saturday on the 4th of July. Monday morning, there was a new agent waiting on that veteran. Tuesday morning, they got their loan. He and his wife are living comfortably right now in that home. There was a veteran who the military had told him he had never been in the military. You know all those different papers. I don't know the numbers, but they told him he had never been in the military. And he had not gotten anything from the veteran. I took him along with a van full of other veterans to the 4-H Center in West Little Rock to a regional meeting. At that meeting, he met one of the individuals that go all over the country speaking to veterans. Before he died, he got his veterans benefits. He got eyeglasses. He got special made shoes. He got medical care. And until the day he died, he said he wouldn't have gotten anything if I hadn't done the things that I did. And we joke about it. We joke about it. It's the kind of thing he even tells on the pulpit. So I have a history with veterans. As you well know, Manuel Leroy was the black BMW that was here in Pine Bluff, the first one established, was established in his honor. I think I recall you being there on the 2 or 3 times I was invited to speak and present awards to older veterans. I believe that while the VFW was in order, I was an honorary member because I paid my money to be a member. I still help veterans, still do. And during that tenure as the president of very important persons, VFW, we fed the recruits coming in out of Whitehall, the young men who come in who are not yet inductees, but they come to get prepared for the military. We fed them 2 years. Brother Overs and others, what you doing, man? Did the cooking, but I was the president. I helped to organize that and get funds and spent my own money for the organization. We had the first that I know of Veterans Parade on Main Street. They brought heavy equipment, military equipment, to be a part of that parade. What goes on here in Jefferson County, the Quorum Court, I don't want you to be misled. It's been 2 years now since that building has been granted. And there's a monument there that displays the names of veterans that have been killed in multiple wars. Manuel Leroy's name was not included. I spoke to Ms. Goodlow and the county judge on that day. Ms. Goodlow knows the story of the history of my brother because she's been affiliated with the other programs and activities that was going on. The county judge did not know, but I did make them aware. And it was because, supposedly, my brother, when he went to visit his older sister in Indiana, is where he enlisted. But when he went to, when he was supposedly going to be drafted, he reported to Simmons Bank. That's on his papers. That's on his papers. He reported to Simmons Bank. And so, but his name was not included on the monument. And I have not raised any hell about it. I've talked about it with the judge. I've talked to my family about it. I haven't raised any hell about it. I haven't been out of order about it. I believe at the time when the buildings were built, and one of you all talked about the veterans who were urinating on the ground outside behind the Veterans Building on Main Street, I made the proposal because the sheriff's department had just been vacated to move the veterans office to the sheriff's office on a temporary basis until something more permanent could be found. So I don't know where you get your information from, because I've been to your home, I know you, you've been a part of those activities that have happened at the VFW, named after Manuel Leroy Carroll. Not then and not now have I done or said anything to make light of veterans. Not at all, sir. And the money you're talking about for the Veterans Building, we have not received anything in writing that says Veterans Building. We've received some requests for a lot of money that is simply identified by the line item on the budget.
Justice Carroll, I was been more than no, I'm sorry.
So I can spell it
More than no, I'm not shutting you up, Justice Carroll. I'm saying that you know, I respect the fact that your brother was a veteran, and now we're getting into to something else. This was about the,
Well, that's what
you
I'm
know.
saying, talking about what he said.
Okay.
He said something about.
I'm gonna indulge you one more minute,
Yes. So
and that's
please,
it.
Sir, please, sir, forgive me if I've done anything in any way that suggests to you that I'm not most appreciative to you, my brother, and all veterans. Even when the congressman, when they sent my mother a letter and told her that the $78 they gave her in veterans benefits, she needed to pay it back because it should have gone to the widow. I'm not fighting nobody about it. And I just wish, sir, that you would come down, be here, and then ask some of those pertinent questions where we can give you real detailed information about what's going on. But I can assure you that I would never do, as a Gold Star family, I would never disgrace my brother.
Time, Justice Carroll. Justice Carroll.
Contrary to him. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Justice Carroll. Okay. Justice Franklin.
How you doing? First off, thank you and all of the other veterans in here for your service. Definitely appreciate it. And I would be remiss to say if I didn't mention the fact that you are a friend, your son's a friend, I've eaten at both of your tables. My question is, and I'm deciphering through your statement of what you said, and you led off with the statement of what JPs are doing to veterans. And you mentioned something to the effect of money to the VA or the veterans. I'm asking, can you elaborate on that? Because I have to be honest, I'm clueless. I don't know. And as I'm going over the agenda here tonight, I don't see anything on there that is specifically addressing a VFW or a veteran's office. So pardon my ignorance, but could you clarify what's going on, or what do you feel that the Quorum Court has done to wrong veterans so we can correct that?
I sure can, and I appreciate it. Mr. Carroll, to answer what you said, everything you said is well and good. What I'm talking about, you all are supposed to allot so much money to that building where Mrs. Goodlow can work with those veterans. They can't even get the computer and everything, because you all won't release the money. That's what I'm talking about. I was down there today. I was down there, they had 2 veterans come down and needed help. They had to get turned around because they could not get done what they needed to have.
There's the other full-time veteran employee over there in the corner. He's on the veteran payroll. He's supposed to be the full-time employee over there.
Okay, Justice Carroll. Justice Carroll.
He's not there.
Justice Carroll.
Somewhere else, but
Justice Carroll. Let's do this. And I appreciate the public comments, but let me tell you something. They can sit here and throw out all kind of innuendos or whatever. The budget.
Is he not assigned?
Yes, he is, and other duties. So this is the deal.
This is why the veteran.
Justice Carroll, I didn't interrupt you, Justice Carroll.
It's not working there, but he.
Justice Carroll, I did not interrupt you. Now, county budgets, and what they're talking about is that we receive a budget each year. Sometimes when business is not being taken care of, or sometimes things out of your control, inflation, things like that, sometimes you have to pay out of different lines. But the fact of the matter is that the lines that is used to pay for some of those services at the veterans buildings, such as in buildings, and some of these elected officials know what I'm talking about when I talk about line items. Those line items are in the negative. What happens when line items go in the negative? You come back and you ask for a budget adjustment, as in an appropriation. Everybody has done it, including from the assessor's office all the way down to the county clerk's office. Let's just say that we have an election. The county clerk's office doesn't have enough money in the budget for elections. They come back and what do? They ask for a supplemental appropriation. A supplemental appropriation is a budget adjustment. It's something that they may not have enough money in a certain line item, and they come back and ask. That's what we do in county government. So regardless of how these elected, these JPs sit here and tell you, like, the county judge or whatever other elected official didn't do this or didn't do that, the fact of the matter is all of the money that we're talking about is taxpayers' money. The taxpayers' money is designed to run government. Regardless of whether you think it's misspent or not, that is not for the JPs. That's not for them.
Why were they
That's
turned
called,
around?
I didn't interrupt you. It's
I
called.
need to get to the point.
Because in separation of duties.
It's a smoke screen, and
No,
I need to know
just-
specifically. We're dealing with
Justice.
veterans here, and it's important to me. I don't know. You're a veteran, and I want
Yes.
to know why they were turned around. We need to know the specific problem of why. I would like the reason.
I will give it to you.
Why, so we can.
The specific.
I don't know. I didn't ask you. I'm
the
asking
specific
the constituents
specific
that came
problem
in. Unless
is
you
this.
already conversed with
Why don't you
him.
let him
Let-
talk and you
yeah.
talk?
Did y'all
Big-
already converse about this?
Well, public, I want you to
I
understand.
want
This
to hear
is
from
this
the
is the deal.
constituent. I want to
This-
hear why
this
they
is the
were
deal.
turned
You
around.
know what? I'm gonna say this is a goddamn shame that you can't let that man finish doing what he's doing.
It's a smoke screen.
No, it ain't no smoke screen.
It's
You
not?
need to shut up and let him
It's a
do what
smoke
he's
screen.
supposed to
It's not. It is not. It is not a smoke screen.
do. Excuse me, Judge.
It is not a smoke.
I'm gonna leave because I cannot stand to stay in here around these people. They don't care nothing, and you the one thought of
And I'm trying to find out the reason why.
When they tried to build a building, you were one of the main ones that was talking against you.
Right.
I'm gone. Judge, thank you. I can't handle this. Because see, I have a severe case of PTSD, and I'm not gonna go on.
I thank y'all. We're gonna move on to new business.
We addressed the other two issues. The other two people that had comments for the public. I think Jihad was next.
I think
We would like to address Jihad next.
we are going to.
Are we moving forward to Mr. Jihad so I can rebut his comments? I think we're allowed to make a comment to Mr. Jihad.
Justice Franklin.
Mr.
I
Jihad?
think no. The Justice. I'm
Mr.
presiding
Jihad.
over this meeting. Justice Franklin.
So are you limiting our comments to the public on their comments?
No, I'm not limiting. Yes, I am. To be honest. No, Justice Carey. We can, whatever issue you have, Justice Carroll, can we talk about it after these proceedings?
Can I get 30 seconds?
You don't know what 30 seconds is?
I promise you.
No. So, listen, we're gonna move into new business. We want to get this taken care of. So for once, let's not go through this.
Have already been passed.
To the public, the bonuses have not been passed. They have not had 2/3 of the full quorum to pass an appropriated ordinance, so it has not passed.
You don't need 2/3. You need 8 votes. Need to read it.
The county attorney,
No point.
the county attorney's here. They need 2/3.
He doesn't engage when we disagree.
2/3 or 7 majority in 3 consecutive readings if they are properly called and
Which they have not. So, now, this is the deal. If so much if it's been passed in sincerity, then, and it has not had the 2/3, then what's the difference if you pass it up? Why can't we read it now? Why can't we have the 2/3 to approve to read it by title only and move on? If you're sincere about what you're doing.
Judge, the attorney just said, 3 readings, 7 votes.
also
We've had
said-
3
I
readings,
also
8
said-
votes.
I also said that you ought not have a legal meeting yet because you haven't adopted any procedures. I've told you that, many times.
Okay.
So we don't have
Okay.
procedures. How is his?
All right. Let me ask you this.
Don't get together to do it.
Let me ask you this. Let it start.
I have a question, and I know you've moved on, but I have a question about the VAPs, and I hate to believe it, because I may be the only person who I'm not aware of what has happened here. And everybody else may know, but
No,
I would
we
love
don't.
to understand Mr. Raspberry's concerns before I walk out of here. Now, I understand where he's coming from because I'm married 52 years to a PTSD disabled Vietnam veteran during the Tet Offense of 1997, 1967. So I understand his leaving and I respect that 200%. But I need to know what he needs, what his needs are.
The request and that we presented to the county judge's office presented to the Quorum Court. In those line items where we needed to pay certain bills out of to the VA, which were delinquent, one of them being the internet, the phones, those bills were delinquent. And when those bills were delinquent and we couldn't pay them, there was a shut off. They did not have internet, nor could they use the phones. And we know that's vital for them to do that. The request was made to the Quorum Court. And as you know, those requests were voted down. Or those requests, or in some instances, we didn't get to those appropriations through. It was simply us asking for those monies to be spent, asking for those monies to be appropriated, and it wasn't done. So you guys are the purse holders. That is true. If you don't allow us the money to be appropriated, then I can't put it in the line item. I can't spend it. I can't pay certain bills.
Yeah, that caused me another question to ask. I have not, and I have read through those packets, and if you say, well, you didn't read the packet, but I did. I do not recall seeing anything specific to the veterans and that all those line items that you asked me there. So there,
Okay, Justice Williams, though there are, let me put it to you this way. Give you a group, buildings. Now, it is not broken down specifically what all I pay in the buildings group. It may be maintenance. It may be other professional services. Those lines that I use to pay certain bills out of. So it may not specifically say veterans. It may be a past due bill. It may be, and we did put past due bills, and when we told you we asked for the money, even though it wasn't broken down saying, oh, I got to pay a veterans bill, if you're paying for money out of a certain group and we giving you delinquent bills, then the appropriation, we're asking for the appropriations so that we can pay those bills.
I wanted him to know, and I think I need his best to know that I've not seen anything. So it was like you all are not taking care of the veterans. I don't mind seeing something, and I think some people who were here did get some monies last week. I think there was something about women who did not get their monies. I think some people did get their monies.
I didn't get it all.
But I think some people did get their monies. People will talk when they know they're being talked about.
I am.
Okay. Okay. Please, let's not engage in that.
Judge, so
let's proceed with new business. Let's get down to new business.
Let me understand this, because I got a question. The veterans office.
Okay, I have not acknowledged you. Justice Williams. Justice Williams. Please, Justice Williams.
The veterans
Justice
office.
Franklin, I have not acknowledged you yet. Now you may speak.
The veterans office has its own budget. And I hear what you're saying about these line items and this, that, and the other, but every member of this Quorum Court, as well as the people in the public know, every office has their own budget. If you ask for a supplemental appropriation for the county judge's office, that doesn't have anything to do with an appropriation for the veterans office. Now, I don't have the numbers in front of me to know what's in the veterans office, but what I do know is that if the veterans office needs to pay for a bill, they'll come for an appropriation under you, since it's under your purview, but they will come for an appropriation to be appropriated to the veterans office. When we get an internet bill, whether it's a shared bill or whatnot, everyone else in the county, pretty much most of the buildings are on fiber. So if the veterans office is getting a specific bill, when that bill is stamped and it is coded with that stamp, you're gonna put the line item of where it's coming from, where the money is coming from, and the amount that you're paying out to the vendor that provided the internet services, and the account number that's not gonna be on there is the county judge's office. It has to come from their budget. This is the same thing that you guys are having a discrepancy with the sheriff's office about paying bills and whether it's coded properly. So we wouldn't pay for an internet bill out of the judge's office. And we haven't seen any request for any appropriations out of the veterans office, period. So we don't have a budget in front of us. Now, the treasurer's here and she may not know offhand, but I'm pretty sure unless some unexpected happens, the veteran office should have money to pay an internet bill, which shouldn't be more than $100. Now, if I go and check this and find out that they did have money in their budget to pay an internet bill, because you're not paying it out of the county judge's office, and you didn't ask for any money for the veterans office, and you can't pay for their bill out of your budget.
So
Are you telling us that the veterans office didn't have $100 to pay an internet bill? That was just one question. Are you saying they did not have money to pay an internet bill?
Justice Franklin.
Is that what you're telling us? Because that's what it sounds like it's being said. 2 people were turned away because they didn't have internet.
Justice
and
Franklin.
you're saying they couldn't pay a bill because you
love
wanted
to talk,
money from the county
don't you?
judge's office.
You love talking.
He could have let me finish. He could have let me finish.
You love talking, and you love to try to cloud the air.
Do they or do they not have the money?
You love to try to cloud the air.
Do they have the money?
Now you
Do they have the money?
you're getting into
We're getting into the budget and finances.
No, what you're getting into is separation of powers. And
do we
this is the
approve
deal.
Budget? Do they have the money? Did they?
Justice Franklin, now you're trying to cloud the public.
Did they have the money?
Each elected official, once the budget is passed, it is up to to the county judge to make sure it is expended in the proper manner. Being that we needed money in line items used to pay bills in certain other offices, regardless of what Justice Franklin is talking about,
No.
it is our responsibility to pay those bills. And if they didn't, when they didn't have anything in specifically saying VA office, they were given in their packets the line items which were in the negative. If they would have taken the time to look at those line items that was in the negative, that was basically what I was asking, the money to be appropriated so we could bring those line items to the positive. So don't sit here and act like that the request was not made. So I'm gonna move on.
Did they have the money?
I'm talking.
Did they have the
Go
money?
ahead,
That's
Justice,
a yes or no.
Justice
Did they
Johnson.
have the money? You talked all the way around it.
Ask me in court.
Monday morning, we'll pull the report and see did they have the
Hold
money.
on.
Yeah, that's a yes
Justice-
or no.
Justice
Did they
Johnson.
have the money or did they not?
Go ahead, Justice Johnson.
I guess I'm getting confused. They're saying, did the veterans, do we have anything for the veterans? One of the things that I seem to find out is that every bill that we get is for the county. None of these are personal bills. I don't think somebody's bringing their bill from home. We have to pay all of the bills for the county. It doesn't matter if it's for the veterans office, if it's for the beautified, all of the bills are for the county. When you don't pay one county bill, all of the county looks bad. It's not looking bad, so we're gonna take care of the veterans. Okay, nobody wants the veterans taken care of anymore than me because I had too many family members that are veterans, so yes. But all of the bills, if we paid the bills that we were supposed to pay, then we wouldn't have this problem because everybody would have the money. But we're not paying the bills because we're saying, oh, you forgot to dot the I here. We're not doing this. Oh, these came out the judges. We're not going to do this. All of these bills are county bills. If they're county bills, they need to be paid, regardless of who they go to. They're county bills, and they've got to be paid. These are not personal bills. These are bills for the county.
You said we need to group them all. So I want to hear you, Mrs.
I'm saying, no ma'am, I'm saying that whatever department, when they give you them bills, they've been doing this for years. So I'm sure when they give you the bills, that's the same way they've given them to you to the years before, and they've given them to you. I know I was the clerk for 8 years, I was an employee for 7, and I've been here for 6 years, so I know that's over 15 years, and we've never had what we're going through now. All I'm saying is that any bill that any elected official is presenting to us, it has to be a county bill. It can't be their personal bill. So if it's a county bill, why aren't we doing the business of the county paying these folks their money? That's all I'm saying.
Did they have the money in their account? That's my question. At the end of the day, Did they have the money in their account to pay the bill? We put on a whole show here saying that there was no internet in the Veterans Building, and my question is, did they have the money? We don't pay bills here. We appropriate funding. We can't control what an elected official spends their money on. If they spend it on something that they shouldn't have, or they use it to pay something else, that's beyond our control. When you ask for money, you have to explain what you're going to spend it on. You can't ask for $300,000 and only explain where $40,000 of it is going. And there's no way that you can tell me that you're going to spend money out of one office to pay for another. It can't be coded that way. It's going to be deemed by legislative audit. That's the way it's always been done. You wouldn't pay for a bill as county clerk for the circuit clerk, would you? You would not.
We never had a problem before, never
I think Ms.
before.
Johnson is correct. I think she is correct in that we should pay the bills, but by not asking any questions, that's why we have 25 cell phone accounts paid for out of the judge's office that are not authorized, because nobody asked any questions. That's why we have $70,000 is paying a fake COVID cleanup team out of the judge's office, because nobody asked any
But Justice
questions.
Carroll, those are things that are the prosecutor's
Millions of
attorneys
dollars
handle.
spent
They're handling
that weren't
Wait,
bidded
wait,
because nobody asked any questions.
Nobody
But-
asked any questions.
Okay.
We got 25 cell
But
phone
why
accounts.
are, again, my question again, Justice Carroll, is why are you asking them now? You've been on here forever, and you haven't been asking these questions. It doesn't matter what you say, you know that. You know that you all have not.
Go back to when they brought you out of handcuffs, somebody asked
Okay,
you questions.
okay. Can we move on? Let's move on to new business. Madam Secretary, move on.
Item 1, an appropriation ordinance to transfer monies to the county general for the 2023 Christmas bonus, bid enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Jefferson, State of Arkansas. The Quorum Court hereby approves a Christmas bonus of $654,400 to be distributed to the employees listed in the attachment. The county judge is hereby authorized to approve appropriation transfers as detailed in the attachments and made a part hereof. Transfers from the public safety or detention maintenance and operation reserve funds will fund the sheriff's bonuses. The legislative body explicitly states that APRS is not eligible for any bonus/lump sum payments for retirement calculation purposes. The appropriation ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
Point of order, Judge. Point of order.
Justice Carroll?
Yes, sir. That particular item has already been passed by the majority of the Quorum Court, who have met on 3 different dates, read it in its entirety 3 different times. Those meetings have been announced to 37 persons, including yourself, the attorney, the news media. Those meetings have been public meetings. We've met in this building, and we have read that ordinance in its entirety 3 times, and it was voted and passed tonight already. So there's no need of us voting to pass that legislation, because the legislation authorizing bonuses for county employees has already been passed.
Thank you, Justice Carroll. I'll entertain a motion.
Judge, I move for approval.
A motion has been made and properly
Comment.
second.
Got a comment?
Justice Franklin?
And it doesn't have anything to do with this one, it has everything to do with this one item and every item. Doesn't matter whether we're for these items or not for these items. We're in a lawsuit, you sued us. You were asked last week by Justice Jackson, would you drop the lawsuit and work with the Quorum Court? And your response was, we're in litigation. Now, you call this special call meeting here, and you've done this probably 5 or 10 times by now. And you keep calling these special meetings, and you know, once we get down to the nitty-gritty, we're not going to participate in any agenda that did not come through the proper channels of the county clerk's office. You know we're under strict instructions. So you know that we're going to abstain on this and every other item on this agenda, and yet you keep calling these meetings. When you could just take your items right down to the clerk's office, turn them in and put them on our agenda, and we would hear it out. But you refuse to do that. But you bring us back here yet again to abstain on this, and then you'll call another meeting next week with the same items for us to come back and abstain again. Now,
Okay,
we're
Justice.
meeting, we're passing legislation.
Okay,
But no,
Justice.
can I finish?
Justice,
We're
I
meeting
think.
and we're passing legislation. So the quorum court is not doing nothing. We're getting business handled, and we're passing things legitimately. And we're passing them through an open agenda in the county clerk's office. Now, you want your own agenda, that's fine, and you can call a meeting as many times as you want. But you know we can't participate in it. And we're gonna have to abstain on all of this, and yet you keep calling it. Now, all you have to do is just take your agenda down to the clerk's office and tell them to add it with your ordinances, and we wouldn't have this problem. But you refuse to do that. So you bring us to this point yet again for us to come here just to have to abstain to these items on your agenda, which some of them have already passed.
Are you finished?
Shoot your shot.
Thank you, Justice Franklin, for so eloquently putting that everything that you have done. As you said, we are in litigation, and we have, in the amended complaint, even sent you where you have not passed a procedural ordinance. You voted to amend it, a 18-page document down to 4 or 5, but you never passed the actual ordinance. Now, I can pull it up on the screen if you would like to see it. But again, I wouldn't want to waste your time. And I failed to see if you have passed all of these ordinances and you say it's all well and good, well, it shouldn't be a problem for you to do it again. So there was a motion and a second. You gave your discussion. I say all in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Abstain.
Abstain. Judge, I'm gonna change my vote. I'm gonna vote no.
Okay. Madam Secretary?
Adams. Agee.
Yes.
Byrd. Carroll.
No.
Dumas. Franklin.
Abstain.
Getty. Hardin.
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Jackson. Patricia Johnson.
Yes.
Reginald Johnson.
We're being sued. Abstain.
Margaret Williams.
And I'd like to add there's a difference between can't vote and refusing to vote.
That means I chose not to participate.
That's right. That was a choice.
What was the vote?
Got 4 yeses, 1 no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abstains, and 2 absent.
Okay. Measure fails. Madam Secretary, item number 2.
Item two, vote tax rates for 2023 to be collected in 2024.
Judge, I move that item.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, hold on. Okay,
Prosecutor and attorney, victim witness.
here you go, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so item 2, an appropriation ordinance to transfer funds within county general, transfer funds from 3025 prosecuting attorney, victim witness to county general, and transfer funds from 1,000 county general to 3025 prosecuting attorney, victim witness. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Jefferson, State of Arkansas, the county judge is authorized to provide a transfer of $4,493.68 from prosecuting attorney, victim witness, transfer $6,000 from 1,000 county general to 3025 prosecuting attorney, victim witness, and transfer $13,496.58 within 1,000 county general as detailed in the attachment. The county judge is authorized to approve the distribution outlined in the attachments. The county treasurer is authorized to transfer for $4,493.68 from the prosecuting attorney victim witness fund 3025 to the county general fund. Transfer $6,000 from 1,000 county general to 3025 prosecuting attorney victim witness as detailed in the attachment. This appropriation ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
Move for adoption.
Motion has been made and properly second. Any questions? All in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Abstain.
Madam Secretary, roll call.
Adams. Agee.
Yes.
Byrd. Curl.
Abstain, it's already been passed.
Dumas. Franklin.
Abstain, it's already been passed.
Gaddy. Hardin.
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Jackson. Patricia Johnson. Reginald Johnson.
Abstain, it's already been passed.
Margaret Williams.
Judge, may I speak?
Justice Harden.
If we're gonna have the 8 or whatever number it is, gonna abstain all night long, and play like it's all been passed and it hadn't been passed because it hadn't been officially presented and addressed, then I move that we close the meeting.
Second.
A meeting, I will say this before I close this meeting. To the public, I appreciate y'all for coming. Want you to understand that the reason why this lawsuit was filed in the beginning is the attempt to usurp the county judge's authority. Since January 1, these 8 individuals have decided,
Are you debating? Because you get the commentary when you're chairing the meeting, and then you get
just,
final
we don't have any
and
rules.
you're not gonna allow
So,
JP to
so
speak.
you
getting
so
final
public,
comment.
you see public, you see, they don't want you to speak. They don't want me to speak. So since January 1, we've had this same dilemma. And you see that we're not getting anywhere because they don't want to handle county business, or because of the fact that I sit at the helm as the county judge. Now, you can't have a one county judge. There's only one county judge elected. Now, we'll go back into time. Nobody seemed to have a problem when this county was bankrupt. And we got back on our feet. We generated revenue. We made some tough decisions. We got us to where we can have these monies to be able to do for the employees. We didn't have a problem with this. 2019, we gave a bonus. 2020, we gave bonuses. Nobody had a problem. 2021, we gave a bonus. Didn't have a problem. Hey, decisions made. Sometimes people, when you make decisions and make tough decisions, you know, you get to where you're going to have some that's just going to disagree with you. Didn't have these issues until we got a new quorum court, 2 new members. But all the while in our first term, we improved savings. We decreased the fleet. We saved $400,000. We implemented energy savings. We generate additional revenue by having the new buildings. We had to do workforce reduction. That was tough, but we got through it. We increased our reserves from 30,000 to millions. We brought a casino here, which some sitting in this room didn't want it to happen, but it did. We got an opportunity to build 3 new buildings, remodel the courthouse, all the while some say, oh, it was because of COVID money. But that wasn't the issue. It was because decisions made to bring this county back to where it needed to be. We've done a lot. We've come to these meetings all the while, and the one time legislation was done and approved, which was in August, and it was from an agenda that came out of the county judge's office. Go figure. But now we have a quorum court that follows the advice of an attorney, that is the county attorney for Craighead County. I bet you if you go to Craighead County, I bet they're not having 2 quorum court meetings. The county judge is not worried about a meeting after the meeting. And then we have an attorney who has asked or advised this legislative body not to participate in meetings that they swore to uphold to do. I can guarantee you that she's not advising Craighead County not to participate in their meetings. We've had some elected officials working with these JPs to I call it causing havoc. But these elected officials weren't moaning and groaning when we was in the process of giving them a $20,000 raise. These elected officials weren't complaining when we gave employees the biggest raises that they had, and some of us have been here 20, 30 years, even more. Haven't seen that. They didn't complain about when we wanted to give the bonuses to the employees. Nothing was wrong with it. But yet we're here at an impasse. We got a county attorney that advised this quorum court. Nothing wrong with them writing rules and procedures, but emphatically told them or advised them that parts of the legislation was illegal. It usurped the powers of the county judge. We don't have a problem with policy and procedures. But in this effort, these 8 justices or 7 justices that was there at that meeting that feel that they passed this legislation, when it clearly shows that they didn't. They voted to amend, but they never voted on the actual ordinance. And so they act tonight, as they have in all these other meetings, as if they have a procedural ordinance in place.
In your opinion, put the disclaimer out there. It's not a fact. Make sure you
Justice Franklin,
your opinion.
I didn't interrupt you. So, again, before I was interrupted, Procedural Ordinance 2023-5 was never voted on. And here we are, hijacking the meetings, all for the service of not liking the county judge. So here we are. Here we are with the employees and the balance, they say that they passed these ordinances. I say if they were sincere in what they did, if you pass it once, why not do it? Why not do it again? You say you've read it 3 times, read it 4 more times.
Point of order,
Pass it.
Judge. Now you
No,
are
we don't have a
debating.
point of order.
You're debating.
And
You've gone from giving a dissertation to debating.
so here we are.
And you want to take 15 minutes to say what you want to say.
No,
then you're
Justice
going
Carroll.
to adjourn the meeting.
Yes, I am.
You have people who want to say something.
Yes, I am. Go ahead. I'm gonna let this veteran talk, and then I'll let Ms. Tillman speak. We've already adjourned, so.
We adjourn.
Yeah. I will.
One of these turns it on.
Test. I came out tonight. I don't usually, first of all, my name is Reverend Anthony E. Davis Sr., and I don't usually participate in these meetings. I'm a disabled veteran, and Claren is my sensei, and he don't usually participate in these kind of meetings either. And I'm gonna tell you why, is because all this jumping around and this undisciplined people are moving around, somebody get hurt flopping around like a chicken around us. Cause we don't talk, we don't play.
I know.
You don't jump up in my face. And I'm more worried about some of these young kids. I got robbed the other night, beat in the head. I'm more concerned about those kids out there and these all of our kids. And see, I worked in the alternative school because I was a teacher and a pastor. And I worked in the alternative school because I didn't want to work in the regular school because I wanted to get down and help them kids that were falling through the cracks. I worked my butt off. I taught our kids, the ones that they call crime bluff. I took them to the Capitol building, and they looked so beautiful in there that the photographers wouldn't even give us our pictures back. And if it was a damn mistake, they made it twice. I'm talking about my senators, my representatives, my principals, and my students, the ones that you're throwing away, the same ones like one of them that hit me in the head. I can't get mad at that boy because ain't nobody loved him. Y'all sitting around here, somebody throw a damn roll of quarters around in front of y'all and we go to acting like a bunch of idiots. These are children, and they run around here killing each other. I'm more concerned about these damn weapons they got. That boy hit me in my head, and you know what? It was a miracle that somebody wasn't dead that night. Cause he shoved that gun in my face so fast, and I thought it was him over there playing. I said, man, get this down. And when I did that, I seen another guy over there with an extended clip. I grabbed his arm and I break him down, and I'm finna shoot him with his own damn gun. Now, how you think I'd feel if I killed that boy? Man, y'all need to get y'all heads out of y'all's asses, man. Come on, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Meeting adjourned, but I'm still gonna.
Before you adjourn, Gloria Tillman, and that's the Jefferson County Assessor. When it comes to number 3, those taxes need to be voted on and passed so that we can collect some money for 2024. So I ask that you all get on one accord at least this one time so we can have some money for 2024, because we need those millage rate taxes, tax rates passed.
Thank you.
Madam Assessor, as we said earlier, that particular item out of your office has already been passed.